a stage of out there. So, uh, should you really do it? Should you really go out there? Are you going to ruin yourself? When you're expressive and you're a diarist or create journals of any kind and you want that to become your business, or you just, or it's just the momentum of things for you to move on. You just want to put that out there, get it out of your system, do your thing. Is it? It's the apprehension stage now, and I'm going to eventually end up doing it. And regardless of whatever the experience is as it happens, the most prominent experience for me was experiencing stalking, antisocial behaviour, and just a long pattern of things. So that was my pushing point or pulling point to get myself out of the story. Um, but really, it would have been something else. Really, when it's really what you want to do, and you're that expressive and you're that creative. For me, it just happened to be that was my journey, and even in describing it, speaking about it, creating poetry around it, even I'm fed up and reluctant to do it and kind of want it over with, but still find myself keep coming back to it because I'm just at that point where I want to eke out every corner of it, every single part of it, so I can just go on and do something else. But then there's this question of couldn't you just go and do something else anyway? But nothing else was opening up, it appears. Or it was. It actually is not an appearance to me, it really was like that because there have been stages in my life when it wasn't so prominent. It was always there in the background, but it wasn't as prominent until I got impacted when I decided to make a fresh start. And then I went headlong into it, not really trying to analyse it or see the bigger picture or get over it. It was just like, Buddha, 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 all these different things are happening. And it was even beyond me to even think that somebody it's possible that people or somebody could have been watching all that time and just realised, oh, it looks like she's really going to do well now. She's really going to make a break for it. Let's have a go at her again. Which means it was probably going on all along underneath. But and the difference was that it was just done in such a way I couldn't help but notice it. But really want to do a goots now and get out of the story. I still feel I'm still got a foot in the story, and I really want to get on and over it. And whilst I'm really grateful for the changes that have happened in my life and grateful for work, I wish I was more in control. Still, you can't really be fully in control because every business depends on another business in some other way. There's no really that independence. But I'm looking for a freedom. I have it already in some ways. But is it ever really possible to have full freedom from no closure? And it's, so some people say closure isn't the thing. Sometimes it's just to evolve within it. Maybe looking for closure is not the realistic thing. It really is building up that bigger picture, moving towards that bigger energy, connecting with that bigger energy. When that energy becomes so great, that pathway becomes so great, everything else falls away. And that is a strange point for me because when I was not in the industry that I have managed to reconnect with now, it almost appeared as though it fell away. But then when I returned to the industry, there appeared to be things that were connected to the time when I thought it all fell away and I was not able to continue working within the industry that I was in. I returned to find a level of control. Though I am grateful for all that I've received, I've worked hard to receive, I might add. It's not something that is just given to you. You work hard in one way or another. As people work hard to be able to pay you for what you do, you work hard to be paid for what you do. You invest time, energy, and that works both ways. It's just really unfortunate when there's other things around it. Then, because you have to be introspective, you've chosen to be introspective, you have to keep questioning, are you making a big deal of something? Is this just not ordinary? But when something just consistently resonates with you, that the solitude you chose, just somehow the pathway you've chose, has allowed for something else to come through. And if it is, you have managed to be surrounded by people who may not want you to feel that way about them. It may be just that's just their way of being, and they maybe do It may be that they do genuinely like you with the way that they like people in their capacity wherever they're at, and that might be genuine, and it may be something they want to be personal, but you may only want to keep it professional. But when you've really connected and had soul sisters and really had certain relationships, or whether they were long or short, where things really did feel okay, and as an individual, you know what adds up and subtotals and grand totals for you, and unfortunately, sometimes it's not what it is for other people. There's a disconnect, a misalignment there. It doesn't have to be anything wicked, harsh, cruel, or rude. You can accept them and appreciate people where they are. But it only comes a kind of an imbalance if they want to push it another way and you are trying to push another way. Or you may want to push it some way and then you have to realise actually you're not supposed to be going there. That is not where you're going to be accepted. Then there's this other strange thing whereby you may have a situation which appears all friendly, but then the minute your back is turned, or you think you're going to your private life, they're digging around, or they're coming after you in some way, but yet they can be professional or friendly with you on one hand, but then once they're not with you, they seem to have a different idea about you. And I've been in situations like that where, yeah, again, I just really don't want to, things are what they are reality the way it is, but when there is you've been connected to somebody and is another energy, and you start to realise actually there could be a real person behind this energy. So when you were going to connect to people who love you and they always leave an invitation open for you at one point in time or whatever, and you go and then you just feel this absolute resistance, but you get there and you have a really great time with these people, there's no resistance there whatsoever when you actually connect to the actual people. But it's always before you're going or when you come away, you may have these second questions. And then you come to me, you go through life and you go, oh, that's really weird, or it must be me. And you come to realise that somebody's been in your background that's now starting to come forward who's been incredibly jealous. So if energy connects, if you look at someone, you catch each other's eye, then somehow you start connecting. When you start speaking, you start to realise you've got lots in common. That energy connects, doesn't it? So it doesn't say that the opposite doesn't connect. It does. If you're lucky, you get to the energy that connects, that you're compatible to. You get on great, you have a great time, you may live together, you may grow together, you grow old together. Or you may grow together until you part. It might break your heart, but it also may teach you a lot of good things, and you go on to be a better person as a result. That really, I wasn't really prepared, even though I had been through the experiences I've been through, and I've seen what I've seen. Really, when it says what goes around comes back around, things do keep showing up until you really learn the lesson, right? Evidently didn't get this lesson, and I'm really glad I can really look at it now. And it's not to say that I am in denial, because I've listened to some of what I've done. And when you keep speaking about the energy to other people and being impacted by other energy, the whole point is when you come to realise who you are and how you are. It's not that you're in denial, because sometimes it can be you. Maybe sometimes somebody walks up to you and you do feel somewhat threatened by them. You may be threatened by their looks. They may really look good. But sometimes it's also the connection of someone who wants you to be threatened by them. Sometimes you're sitting there, you're not even thinking, you don't really care about. I must admit, I'm not as image conscious these days as I was when I was younger. I put on weight, I'm trying to get fit. My thing is really about health and just trying to sustain some energy, which is why expression is so important to me, because it helps me relieve and not hold on to stagnant energy. It's still a work in progress to really get functional. I have to admit, I'm not that as functional as I'd like to be. I'm not as house proud as I really want to be, despite being able to design and do interior designs and things like that. Being focused on a lot of other things has taken this kind of expression, doing the books, doing the art, has taken copious amounts of energy. And it may be that I've got stuck in the rut of even doing that. But I suppose my hang-up is knowing the difference between when I'm free and when I'm not. And when there is a certain amount of tension, I do realise it. And I would love to see that I was making it up, but that would have to resonate it would all have to add up. It couldn't be just somebody coming along and saying, well, look, no, this isn't what it is, and blah, 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 when I could see all the patterns out there. And when you stood in public and not really know who's around you and realise you've been pointed at and shouted at and, being shouted at as being ugly and, oh, this, that, and the other, and be called everything under the sun and been through those experiences, which may be for whatever reason. Maybe somebody looked at you who somebody thought you were too ugly for them to be looking at you. I mean, the amount of times you look at different people in one day, does it mean anything? No. But it's the phenomena of anonymous. That is what it is to me in this moment. Maybe one day I'll realise that I've just been so vain and up the stuff about certain things that but it is what it is. But I keep hoping and I keep praying that even though I'm free and I can go about doing other things, that I will find that pathway, that channel, that energy that I will just get hold of, and I will have even more different days. I have fantastic days already, but there's a difference that I want to create, there's a difference I want to make. And I can only hope that the intention of this project, this Lady Snatchflow project, which includes the Ruffian Diaries, little snippets of sound, little snippets of singing, and it is genuinely meant to be natural and non-produced, though it's a production. When I started to go through the whole combination of things second time around, and that was from 2006 onwards, I remember moving to the flat I moved from, where I was no longer, I wasn't a relied on mum at that time anymore, and I was about to make my own fresh start again. So again, being a single individual, someone who can completely almost take care of themselves, who I thought was just going to carry on and take care of himself. I had no idea my life would spiral so out of control. Just when I was just financially starting to make changes and really begin to get myself on track, because I've struggled financially, sometimes through lack of education, and within the lack of education, I don't have the full capacity. I am getting better, and I could do things my own way, very slowly, and get through things. But I think what really hurt, all the things that could go on and how dangerous it could be, what really hurt is the lack of control. It's just being in this moment and knowing there's other responsibilities. When I tried for many years to take full responsibility for everything, to help move myself on, and it kept falling apart. To this now, it's 2016. So from 2006 to 2016, this has been going on in stages, repeat performances, repeated patterns. And what's happened there, I would go back and forth to the authorities. I got to the point where I thought, being quite honest in all that they've, regardless of whether the procedures were correct or not, I'm beyond even question, and probably wasn't even, I don't know whether, I had to question, that was just me. But regardless of what and who is behind this, and whatever it is, whether somebody's trying to save you because like when your personal life is so invaded, and sometimes when you deal with people and they are that, like I said, that two-faced thing, you may be dating someone, but behind your back, obviously, that they're cheating, but they actually really hate you, but they will come and be in your body, but they actually really find you ugly, they don't like you, or they actually just see you as nothing or nobody, So when you've lived in those, that's what you've attracted, and you've got to look at yourself and think, well, why did I attract that? It's just something to move on. But that my whole intention with this project, this whole Lady Snatchflow project, the whole Snatchflow moment is taken from when you're naturally going along, you've been naturally happily just doing everything, and those moments, whether it be trauma, abuse, whether that's snatching and distract you, and that's where I'm trying to get back from distraction. Maybe I should stop trying to get back distraction and just continue this path. I have to say I find it difficult to accept, I thought if I just babble on, I just really be me, just show myself as I am and not be scared. In fact, even putting all this side of things out there actually allows me to be a lot more private in different ways. You just, you let it go, don't you? It's no longer yours. You've created it, you don't deny it. And it's not that I intend to be in denial and saying things, everything, everybody else's problem, not me. I'm responsible. I'm responsible for how I get myself out. You could do anything you want to anybody, or to, anything can happen to me, but I have to take the responsibility to move on, heal whichever way I need to heal, and get on. Regardless of what you do, I cannot stop you from doing what you're doing. I wish I could, but I can't stop someone who decides the pattern of their life has to be to enter my home, or leave things outside my home, or make sure I'm watched everywhere I go, or someone who's decided that they know better how to keep me safe than I know how to keep myself safe, and they have a right to keep that private. And part of the intention is me explaining that I know something else is there, I know somebody else is out there doing something, and it doesn't feel that good. I try to be as broad-minded and understanding, specifically when it comes to reasonable cause. I cannot cover everything, but it hasn't gone unnoticed. It hasn't gone without an effect. It does affect my relationships, very close relationships, and it can be incredibly painful. It is incredibly painful, especially when it causes disconnection, especially when you know there are others who want to cause disconnection because they're incredibly jealous of who you are as a mother and who your child is in the relationship you have, and they will do anything to come in between you, anything. And sometimes maybe only one side of that party can deal with it, as the realistic thing it is, and it could be incredibly frightening. It's not pleasant, and it's uncomfortable, and that's what people, what people want to do, and what people want to hear. Some people, when they hear it, they realise that it's not what they want to do, or some people want you to actually be able to control how you perceive things or read things. But you can only take on things as how you are, and regardless of how somebody is convinced that they're expressing love for you or friendship or that they care about you, if it's resonating in you reporting yourself as being stalked and feeling very uncomfortable and unsafe, and actually feeling threatened by what is being done, then evidently it's not love and friendship that's coming across. What you end up dealing with somebody who becomes almost, I don't know if the right word is comatose to it, but I noticed myself, there's things that happen that really should flag up as a threat, that really should flag up as something to be concerned about, and I just get on with it. I just look at it and I just keep going. You know what I mean? Because I felt when I did go, understanding maybe because it was quite mild compared to, and I understand my situation is nowhere near as worse as it can be. I completely agree with that. But I knew what it could lead up to. It's in terms of stalking and what it's like, it's nothing new. There may be new initiatives about it, but it's nothing new. It's been a prelude to many crimes before, and that is what I know. But you say if you could walk down the road, you can notice these things are maybe more psychological and emotional now. It is incapacitating in some way. It does have that effect, but if it's not so dangerous, I suppose you just keep going. There is nothing else you can do. You just have to notice and keep on. But really, there's that question: should you live with that threat? The threat of, so even if you go to make friends, if you've seen a pattern of a person trying to doorstep everything you do, so they could be there to serve you in a shop, or their people, and their people serve you, only their people answer the phone or answer your queries or something like that. If that was possible, then it would leave you wondering if you could ever really get out and meet people genuinely, new people, new environment, and really accept it like that. I know for myself, I'm always going to question, is this new or is it connected to something else? And I really have to push myself and really listen to prayers and believe that there are angels urging me and comforting me to say, it's somebody new. This is not connected. It's going to be over. Whoever was there, whoever was trying to tell you do something, it is not as bad. Keep going. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I still having problems aligning with that, you know. And it's not a case of, I mean, I would love to get out more. I don't always have the energy to get up and get out. But it's trial and never. You just keep getting up, keep trying, keep going and socialising with that. If you're at that stage, I'm not really at that stage yet, until it is something more different. Maybe speaking out to people about it a bit more is, I must admit, I don't do that as much as I am prepared to do. Really, when I go out, I just prefer to hear light conversation and just have a little bit of a laugh and just not. I'm not really overly involved with anybody anymore. You know, previously I made all the wrong decisions, unfortunately, but for the best reasons anyway, because it taught me loads of things, and hopefully I'm a better person as a result. And I would, you know, connect to people at work. Thought I made friends, made lovers, and believe you me, something else happened. But thank goodness, solitude was there for me. And it's not anti-honest, it's not quite complete solitude, but for the moments that I get, I'm grateful that I've experienced some of it. So it's another bright day, like the day that I first created my blogs and my book. And I don't know what the future holds. The unknown is for me. I don't know what's around the corner, and maybe it's better for me. I just pray and hope that my intention of being heard, the true way I am when I'm just at home on my own, maybe it may interest some people, it makes some people laugh, it makes some people take the pee out of me again, as I do out of them. That's equal. So even though it has emotions, and even if you are a comedian, or you can see the funny side of what other people do, what you do, how you connect to them, how they connect to you, blah blah blah. And some ways you're not wishing to offend them or drag them down or anything, but sometimes when some things are going on, you have to speak. You just have to speak. For me, when I did start to create my work and start putting it out there, things changed. My intention wasn't to hurt or, like I said, but I just felt there was nothing. I was just up against the wall. I just had to keep coming out. And this is another thing. And I keep saying this is going to be the last time I've yet created another one. Upload soon, hopefully.